Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Sue, you brought us to the outdoors. That's nice.
Sorry, say again.
You got a nice outdoors backdrop. I love it.
Yeah.
And an
Yeah.
actual live one too, probably.
Yeah, a live one. Sometimes it gets a little dark with the clouds, but wait, and then it happens.
And Matt, you received all the attachments, correct? For today, or did I not get that to you?
I have to admit I haven't looked.
Okay. No, just the invite for this was just beforehand. I had submitted a whole bunch of our agenda, the proposed agenda, and then a task list and our proposed, proposed things that we're going to be doing in the squares in West Concord.
Okay.
And May
I
10th,
will-
Matt, is the date. It looks like you're on it.
This is also draft only.
Okay.
So hopefully, so we can go through this pretty quickly. So I think we're just expecting Rob, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me just text him to see if he's coming on here.
I'm just gonna run and get my my electrical cord here. Okay.
Okay, great.
Still here.
So this is something you would have sent on your Gmail account?
Nope, it would have been the CC-Catholic.
Oh,
You guys-
okay.
May 10th at 3:26 is what I've got, Matt.
Okay.
And if not, then I can get that to you.
Yeah, well, I can forward it to you right now. You want me to just forward it?
That'd be,
No,
yeah, actually,
I see it. I see it Monday. Yeah. No, I sorry, I did not do my homework.
no, well, this is mainly for the committee, but what I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure was that you're aware of what we're.
Yes.
And I
I've
know
got them all here. Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty in-depth about what our proposed minutes are and then everything else.
Yeah,
that-
and I reviewed the proposed press release. That was something that I used as a basis to just give the select board a heads up as to what, was possible.
Right, and that
I
obviously.
realize that it's still a draft. It's not
Correct,
the
right, and
plan yet.
that's, as I said before, it's just a draft, and this is all, everything that I sort of kind of collated together over the weekend and making sure everybody's sort of on the same page.
Yep.
So I haven't heard back from Rob yet.
There's one proposed edit. Let's go looking at that proposed press
Yep.
release. It ends
Yep.
with, "Thank you all for attending these important ceremonies, but we're asking people not to attend."
Right,
Thank you all for not attending.
well, so, and that was obviously, I didn't know what the thank you or byline would be, but that was obvious, that was one of the things to clarify today.
Yep.
It could even be thank you for your patience regarding this thing.
Yeah.
Wish everybody a happy Memorial Day.
Yeah,
Looks like Phil's joining us here.
Yep.
Yep, I'm here, Jolisica.
thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that.
Let me try to call Rob.
Yeah, if you don't mind,
Sure.
because like I said, I just text him, but
Yeah, so we get him. Rob will join us momentarily.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
So hopefully this won't take too long.
Okay.
Sorry.
You're okay.
Yeah, no worries.
Here we go.
Great, thank you.
Spinny wheel.
I know, right? It's that
Spinning.
spinning wheel of. Okay. Oh, maybe not.
Oh, we lose him. Oh, no.
So, should we wait one more minute for him to start? And if he doesn't,
Yeah, because we can't be official without him. right?
I
Without a
know.
quorum. He's joining. He was en route when I talked to him. He said, "I'll be just a minute." So
okay.
boy, maybe he's just in a bad cell range or something.
It's great to read the Percy Rideout story.
Oh, right.
Oh, it is, yeah. Good stuff.
I mean, obviously, some of this stuff is most likely will be left out only because of, you know, that day in particular, but as I said, in the documentation.
I'm gonna try him again, see what's going on.
Yeah, would you? I just tried to text him, but I didn't have any, didn't receive a reply.
Yeah, he's having signal issues, so I'm just seeing if I can find the, I'm just gonna send him the phone number and just he'll ring in.
Oh, okay. The phone number?
Yeah, oh, do you have it?
Yeah, I have a couple. So it's 646.
This is the,
It's on the sheet.
yeah, let me find the sheet, just, or do you want to just text him that and
Yeah,
the?
I'll
oh, the
text.
ribbons?
Yep.
That'd be great.
So I just sent that to him.
Great.
Okay, so he said he's trying.
Quorum things are pesky things.
Yes, especially when you don't have 7 already, so.
Yeah, exactly. We start with 5.
So he's still trying.
He said maybe home in a couple of minutes and would have his computer access then. I said, well, try on the phone initially. You know, so
Yeah.
get
Oh,
going.
6:30 would have been.
Better time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't hoping it would be this long for the meeting, but it was just hoping we could just check, and then go from there. So,
Well, I'm
And I-
not essential to quorum. I'm going to step out for 1 sec. I'll be right back.
okay, thank you. Well, thanks for joining, Phil.
Yeah, no issues. We were going through we had a training session last night. There we go.
There we go.
Hey, hello. Hello.
Hey, Rob, thank you.
Sorry
Is
about
Sue
that.
hearing us?
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
glad
here.
you connect.
Just keep my
He's live,
hands
okay.
busy. Oh,
All
start
right.
my
we have
video in
quorum.
a second.
Okay. 1619.
19 called order. Got it.
Thank you. So we don't have the previous to review minutes, so we'll do that next time.
Thank you all. How
Outstanding.
about that?
Okay, and no pending invoices. So I haven't received anything yet from Patriots Day regarding our rates. So moving to the current planning. I guess it's not even current, so it was the previous planning. I have very positive reviews from Patriots Day.
Mhm.
So everyone was extremely happy with how we handled that. Extremely happy with how we handled that day. So great job, everybody. And great reviews from the select board. They were very happy with that. And Minutemen did a great job. So let's see about sending a joint thank you. Maybe on Memorial Day, we can all sign a little something and just make sure that the Minuteman Network is aware that we say thank you for all of their efforts to make that happen that day.
So Julissa, I just want to add a comment to that because I thought it was extremely positive. It worked out very, very well for all.
Yeah,
I'd like to make one comment anyways, in particular, as you may have known, we had one of our members, we live streamed the firing at 6 a.m.
yep,
And it worked out. You were there. I mean, it was maybe 20 people, something like that, right?
yeah,
But-
it was fantastic.
But the interesting factor was that we had something like over 2,200 views of this with some 25 or 30 shares. So, and even that day at 6 a.m., we had people actively watching it, right?
Yes,
So, trying to understand how that technology can play for us going forward is really kind of interesting. Thank God we have Abby Mayette. She knows all that stuff. So,
yeah, she was fantastic, and we were able to share that and use that. So thank you
yeah,
so much.
so
That
it
was
worked
great.
out well. I just wanted to, we talked about it last night and she had the stats. Said, boy, look at this, is the great
That's
activity.
fantastic. That's great. Well, thank you so much, and please thank her for that too.
Yep.
So thank you. Moving on to Memorial Day. So as far as the invites, I was only going to talk to Dick Crew because he's in contact with the current veterans here and sending a invite to Concord vets, basically for them and their families. We're not publicizing it necessarily, but it's really going to be for the vets and their families. I know that some of the public will be there, and we try to maintain that it is really for the veterans. I think the thing is that my comment in the press release that I'd like to do is I'm going to adjust this. Is members of the public are asked to honor our veterans by staying home and enjoying the day with their families. And then at the end of it, it would be thank you all for your patience and understanding regarding these important ceremonies for our Concord veterans. So that's how we are hoping, or I'm hoping, that we can incorporate inviting the veterans, but having other people outside in Concord, the public, general public, to stay home, and while still respecting our COVID compliance and safety. Does that make sense? Okay. So I will draft, I'll update this in our Dropbox and make sure that we can send all that out.
I
Okay.
guess just a question. I mean, I'm remembering last year, I think it was fairly normal in Kenny Dunn Square. We went from right out down to the square. But I think Monument Square was different. Didn't we just kind of go memorial to memorial, laid the wreaths? If we're trying to keep it quiet, do we want to have a parade that's going to require shutting down the center of town?
So, that's why I wanted to talk to everybody today, right? Because we were simply just around the square that day. But in order for us to sort of acknowledge the veterans, that obviously I think that there were some that, just like we had on Veterans Day, if they wanted to sort of assemble around the circle, what we did is we had all the wreaths. We had the CIB that were on the wall, and also the other spot that they were at, where they could do their volley shots, because we also had all of that. So that's why we're having this conversation, and what do we envision for that? Because obviously we don't want it to be a big, large event, but also I want to recognize that we will most likely have some veterans there. And if they would like to be there for both the West Concord ceremony and it's not really a ceremony, well, I'm trying to stay away from that because we're not having the big speeches. We're not having sort of that huge recognition that we normally had, like having the benediction and whatnot. I would like to, I prefer not to do that because that just means it's going to invite a lot, a bigger crowd, which I'd prefer not to do. So
Yeah, and our
I'm
goal is to stay under 250. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'd like to maintain, and that's why we're here today. We're talking about the script, but it's basically what are we going to be doing for that day, and who are we going to be inviting? Because I don't imagine we're not having a bagpiper, we're not having the scouts, we're not going to have the SAR.
Right.
Right. We're not the DAR. Wow. DAR also. So it's really scaled back.
Yeah.
And I think it's easier to do it in West Concord because everybody's sort of used to that. So that's why I'm open to it. I don't know about doing a parade because I need a permit. Right. We need to get a permit if we're going to be doing that. And that we're now have less than 2 weeks to sort of figure this whole thing out. Right. And less than a week in order to get it to the paper so that there's some sort of a notification if we're doing that. So what do you guys think?
I'm sorry, are we in the center now? Or are we talking West Concord?
Center.
There's probably plenty of room in the oval itself to kind of, if it was us and the vets, and then if we just had a couple cops as far as when the guys got to cross the street with the wreaths without playing Frogger, that might,
Right.
that might be a way to kind of keep it without, reasonable size and not have to do anything too crazy, not just have to set up the stage,
Oh yeah, and Tish was asking about that. She's like, "Oh, you might be getting the reviewing stand." I said, "Our hope is not to have the reviewing stand because the point is that this needs to be still. We're still in COVID times. We still have restrictions on what we can do, and the select board was adamant about not drawing such a large crowd. That's the whole point."
If we went between, like, say, World War I and Civil War there.
Right.
And then when it came time to disperse with the wreaths, just have a copper on each side of the circle to let make sure the guys can cross and place their wreath and come back safely. That might be a way to do it kind of a smaller scale.
So that's probably like what, around 50-50 monument. I'm just want to make sure if we have to write this out for the police department, but 50 to. What is that, like 90? Is that?
Are we talking address?
Yeah.
The
He's talking
address?
about being inside the oval grass in the center, I think, aren't you, Rob?
Yeah, so you're talking, well, the church is 12 and then, what,
Right.
62, yeah, so it's, across from the church or across from the town hall, whatever you want to
Yeah,
pick
I
for an
think it's-
address.
yeah, so 12 to 70, that's kind of where we're looking at, so across the whole way.
Or yeah, just right in the center, just right in the oval, like between like the obelisk and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do need to get a permit for that day then. And then,
But I think you're saying, Rob, no parade. We just start and have the presentation there, the remarks, and then, yeah, the vets go out and do the wreath
Yeah,
laying from there.
we could just muster on the
Makes sense.
oval, just muster on the oval. There's plenty of parking there.
Yep.
That time,
and so we should set up the wreaths at that oval, and then our committee members just walk them out to each of the memorials?
What we're saying is if we're inviting the veterans would be there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If the veterans are there, that's fantastic. However, backup is that if no veterans show up, then we're
We can
going
be
to do
Plan
that as,
B. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we can be Plan B.
okay. All right. And so going through then, want to start with the write out. So we're not doing, I'll send another simplified. Basically just writing out to the, walking out to the Kenny Dunn. Whoever the parade marshal is, and you're working on that, Rob?
Yes.
Okay.
If I don't hear from General Merlino I'll have somebody call tomorrow. If I don't have an answer if I don't hear from him by tomorrow, I'll grab General McGurn on Friday.
Okay. Because I think he'd be great, and he's aware if he's done it more than once. So we'll present arms. We'll leave out the whole speech. They'll raise the to the colors, playing to the colors and raising the flag. And pause and wait for the battery, because the battery usually shoots after that. And then we'll just return back to write out.
So Jaliska, let me ask a question just on the theme of what you talked about Concord Center. About
Okay.
not having a parade there.
Mhm.
Would you not have a parade from the playground to Kenny Dunn Square? And let me tell you the reason why I'm asking. We had a meeting last night, a practice last night, and I was wondering, do we want to have a color guard or not? And I was really contingent upon what this meeting would come up with, or whether we do
Right.
something like that, not, you know.
Well, I appreciate that. I think what we did is we just met. We just met at there. Is that correct, Tom?
Well,
We all had to park. We had to park at right
Last,
out.
Well, I think regardless of whether there's a parade or not, I think if the battery wanted to provide a color guard, they could present colors and we could find a spot for you with, include you.
Well, it just the fact of the matter, it used to be always that form up at ride out and come down, and small units, not much, what, four or five, and then line up before Kenny Dunn Square, and then they would do the colors and all that type of stuff, and then go back. But what I just heard was, well, we're not going to have anything. We're going to walk down. We're just going to meet at Kenny Dunn Square.
It sounds reasonable to me to be able to march if you want.
yeah, that early in the
But,
morning. It doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna get
So I
massive
would say,
crowds,
do the
especially at
ride
that
out
location.
Yeah,
and do the
I'm
ride out
open
piece,
to
lay the
whatever
wreath.
is right, guys. I just want to know which way to tell the guys.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay, so why don't we do this? So I just need to make sure what I'm trying to do is we have to figure out permits. We have less than a couple weeks to figure this out. So we will have a small parade coming from right out to the Kenny Dunn Square and return back to right out. We will not have any of the speeches. What we'll do is we'll do a very simplified marching there.
Okay.
Whoever our parade marshal is, they will rest the wreath. We'll somehow do the color guard if we can to raise the flag and then return back to right out. It's very simple. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so during that time, obviously raising the flag, then you would have your opportunity for, right, the battery.
And will we raise the flag and lay the wreath at right out before we go as well? We just don't
Exactly.
do long speeches there. Yeah.
Right. So that's right out. Is everybody set with that?
Yep.
Okay. And then, so moving to Monument Square, we had previously met at that Kais Road parking lot, March 2. But as it sounds like last year, we just kind of parked alongside of it, right? Around Monument Square, right in front of 70 Monument to 62 Monument. We had the wreaths there and we did a very quiet wreath laying. Is that something that we want to do again? If we have the CIB and we raise the flag, or what do we envision for this, for Monument Square? Same, different?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we had like, if they wanted the color guard there, we have the veterans that show form up, and then we're kind of arrayed there, then we could go through whatever presentation we want. And then the veterans that do show, if they want to grab their traditional wreath to their traditional spots, and and then we have have like say 2 police officers on either side to stop traffic for them briefly to cross back and forth. I think that would be a nice, easy way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
We might have a little more, and maybe that first speech about the origin of Memorial Day, just to give it some sort of
Yeah,
form.
I don't think a short speech is out of the. I mean, they're there already. It's might as well do something.
Yeah.
yeah, so what we have initially is Memorial Day was formerly known as Decoration Day.
Right.
Right, so we can do all
Yep.
that. And then what we can go, moving from there, is we'll have the national anthem if we can, if they're Concord Minutemen, or I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to do that. That's formally what we've done. We'd have the national anthem. And then at that time, if we can, and if we have veterans, we'd say for their sacrifice, they would lay out the wreaths. I don't believe we're having a bagpiper. So just to ignore that. And then what we're gonna do is hope if we can have a high school person come and play, or if not, if the, like I said,
So while they're laying wreaths, we'll have taps, and then
right, have taps.
followed by the Minutemen and then the battery. We'll
Right,
do that.
yeah,
So just keep in mind that what we'll need is at least one of us, or at least a radio with a member of the battery to
Yep.
let them know what's going on.
That
Right.
works fine for us. That works fine.
okay. And so this year, I don't think that we're gonna be doing the
Roll of honor.
roll of honor. I think, trying to keep it simple. I think it would kind of get a little crazy trying to figure that out. And I know that typically there had been also the poem. I don't think we're gonna be doing that. Like I said, we're just gonna keep it simple. And so what we'll do is I'll draft another West Concord and Concord Center play-by-play, and then maybe get that out to everybody by tomorrow evening.
Okay,
great.
And then, so that'll get to the battery, and then to anybody else who needs a copy of that.
Yep.
Okay? Yes, Phil.
I've just got a couple of points I want to bring up because of some stuff that we had done previously and all that.
Sure.
First thing you may be aware or not aware, we, about 3 weeks, a month ago, we were invited by the town of Lincoln. I think I
Okay,
might have mentioned this to you, Jessica, right?
yes, yes.
To be at Lincoln, at the Pierce House in Lincoln. They're having an honorary salute, if you would, remembrance for, it's either 14 or 15 Gold Star mothers or parents, both from Lincoln and Sudbury. And it's a way for them to honor them in Memorial Day. They've asked us to come down and fire around. I've gone to Stephen Crane, oh gosh, probably 3 weeks ago, and he said, hey, you guys are fine to go do something like that. And as a result, we made that commitment, but we said to them, we need to hear from Concord, a little bit in the sense of how we're going to play this, right? And it does present some logistical concerns, I'll say. So I won't say that problem. The concern is something we can work our way through. And the second thing I wanted to bring up is, and I think what we've talked about so far, it's okay, and we're already working towards that. But the other piece of it is the lack of commemoration, signifying the cemeteries, right? And for us at the Battery, that's a very, very important part of Memorial Day. So we have 2 guns, right? So obviously we're going to provide 1 gun for Ride Out, and we'll have 1 gun provide Lincoln. And then again, we got to work because we just had the agendas last night.
What time is the Lincoln
The
thing?
good
Phil?
news is we had a meeting, so or a practice, so I was able to go through it with about 20 to 25 of the people. But as a result of that, we all agreed that we're willing to work through the logistical challenges associated with that, because there's no horses. It's all going to be, by trucks and all that, pickups, but that we can be able to provide Concord with the Ride Out playground scenario, bring that gun back down to Haywood Meadow, or the gun from Lincoln from Haywood Meadow, and then provide that at the same time from which would be about, if I remember your agenda right, Gillis, about 11:30, somewhere in that area, right? Plus or minus.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I don't have it in front of me, but I'm just recalling what I read yesterday. And then as a result of that, what we wanted to do is so that covers the PCCC requirements relative to the salutes that are required associated. And then what we wanted to be able to do, to make you people aware of it as well, is that our ability, and we have the permits from Chief Judge already for the firing, that we go do that at Sleepy Hollow, the Knoll, and St. Bernard's.
Right.
And it would be done much in the vein that we did Veterans Day, right? Limited people, 1 gun, maybe 10 people per each, and then to kind of leapfrog our way through that scenario and get it all done by 12:30 or so. But as a way to make sure that we didn't forget, that's to us, that is, and I'm sure to all of you guys, at the end of the day, that's what we have Memorial Day. We have to remember these people and remember the gifts and issues and the sacrifices they made, to be honest, right? And be honest, and I'm sure a lot of you folks, we know a lot of people in those cemeteries, and I know personally do. And for us, it's important. So if that's okay with you guys, we've already checked with Tish. She's, Tish, right? You got it, just go do it. And it's worked out fine. And we'd like to be able to do that. I don't want to do it in a vacuum. That's why I want to make sure I talk to you guys tonight about it.
Phil, what time is the Lincoln event?
It's 9:00.
Yeah, so that sounds like, because that's the West Concord timing. So you got one gun in each place.
Well,
and then the Concord Center's 11. That's always worked fine, even if it just comes from Ride Out to Concord Center. So
right. Or we go down to Haywood. We'll fire from Haywood, right?
Yep.
Right.
And then we position ourselves in Sleepy Hollow, the Knoll, and St. Bernard's. Done by 12.
And what time are you doing St. Bernard?
Well, we're gonna have to figure out the logistics for sure.
Okay.
We talked about, I saw it yesterday for the first time. So I talked to the Battery members last night and really said to them, raise your hand, because this is a situation where, for a whole bunch of reasons, COVID and all the others, right? We don't want to forget the real purpose of Memorial Day, and make sure that people understand that's why we have these volleys, to be able to recognize those folks, right? That being said, that's what our game plan is. Once we figure that out, we have another practice this Saturday morning at the gun house. And then, once we're done with that, we'll figure out all the logistics. We got enough people and ability to be able to get the guns back and forth with no problem. We have the permits from Lincoln already. And obviously we've got a Chief Judge for permits at the cemeteries.
Okay, great. And then I wanted to let you know that the Holy Family on the St. Bernard Cemetery, they hold that outdoor mass there at the cemetery.
Oh,
So
good.
they're going to be holding it this year at 10:30. Typically it'd been at 9 a.m., but to give you that heads up as well.
Thank you so much for that. I didn't, I was going to copy you on this anyway, because you linked into them, right?
Yeah.
So that would give us, we'll have to think about, maybe we obviously delay or something. We'll figure that out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We made the attempt, but bottom line is that's what our goal would be. Okay.
A rapid deployment force.
There you go.
All right, so I think Jaliska, I think so. Did we have a spot in this abbreviated center ceremony for a gun to fire, or we figured out a spot?
Haywood Meadow.
Right, but no, I didn't mean physically. I meant in the script. Is there a?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
It would still be while wreaths are being laid, right?
Okay.
Yep,
And
that
we
is
just,
correct.
so what is it? Is it mass at 11 or 11:30, Jessica?
No, it's at 10:30.
10:30. Okay. Well,
Yes, yes.
that might work fine.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And
And you'll hear
then-
from me, Jessica, once I get the logistics worked out. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that, Phil.
Appreciate the support.
Absolutely. And I think the next thing would be for us to chat about our checklist. So you guys ready for that?
Yep.
All right, so moving, really gonna go straight down the list. So I hope everybody has a copy of it in front of them. So clergy, we're not going to do, we don't need a key for the Red Barn unless we need a microphone or something. What do you think, Tom?
We probably don't need them if we're trying to do smaller groups.
That's what I thought too.
I think we might need radios. We'll definitely need them in Concord Center.
Mhm.
Okay, so the only thing that we would need, so we would need to get the key for the Red Barn for the radios then?
No, I've got the radios here.
Then never mind. Okay,
And
So-
I would suggest one for ride out as well because of the distance there.
Yeah, that's right,
Right.
Phil. You're right. Yep.
okay,
Yep.
Great.
So I'll make sure those are charged and ready to go.
Okay.
thank you. And then I already took care of the reads, so those are all set. And then Tom, we already talked about the radios and
Yeah.
the flash microphones. We're not doing any flyers around town, I think. So we need to apply for the town permit. So I need to talk to Stephen about that.
And for both,
So-
maybe them, yeah, for
For-
both in the morning if we're gonna close the road too. Just
Right,
have it,
yeah.
Ride out, yeah.
That's for West Concord and Concord.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, and then, so I'm not sure about the soloist because we could technically, what do you guys want to do? It says a soloist for the national anthem. We can speak that also.
At which
Keep
way
it
we do that in
calm.
the Concord Center?
Well,
For sure.
yes, definitely Concord's under.
Did you say, Jessica, we can what it?
We would be speaking, it would be someone from the committee
Okay, that's what I thought.
reciting,
All right.
correct.
Or we could just play the audio, play audio of the national, musical national anthem. You talking about?
Well, we're not, this is on the day of, right? So we don't have any video or soundtrack for this.
Jessica, weren't you suggesting maybe the Minutemen were playing that?
Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering if the Minutemen can pay, I haven't heard back from anybody, so that would probably be, if we can try to get a Minuteman to do that.
Or if not, we could all just do a reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance instead at the end or something.
So I will put both of those into the new and we'll figure that out.
Great.
Do we want, if we can, try to get trumpeters for that day?
I think that'd be great. Sue, do you want to ask?
I can
Do
ask.
it.
Guy?
Yeah, I
He
can
was
ask.
great.
Okay.
It was
so-
a nice touch in the video of the last event. Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
It's fantastic, fantastic. And then I had David here to talk to Tish, but he's not here to do that, so I can follow up with David. And then because she and I are in contact regarding that, so we'll need 2 flags. The scripts and the map, I haven't adjusted anything for the map, and it's just going to be what we just talked about. So I'll take care of the scripts and the map. Who would like to MC? Anybody?
I'm happy to do it. It's my swan song. But if someone else
Oh,
wants
no,
it.
it's not.
So everybody's like this. Who? Rob, Tom?
Rob, either one. I don't care.
Let Tom do it. He's good
Yeah,
at it.
it's your last year.
My last event.
Well, for this
Well,
term.
Not technically. Exactly.
Right.
Okay, Tom, I'll get that to you.
All right.
And it says, usually we've had the Maureen Taggart winner help with the flag, but
Yeah.
do we want to have a vet do that if we have a vet that day? I think it'd be a nice touch.
Sure.
Okay. And then we'll get that obviously on that day. And then Rob, you're on the Hanscom rep.
Sure.
and I'm with CIB. So Phil, you and I will contact each other.
You'll hear from me.
Sorry, thank you. And then it's fire and police. So I had David as a question mark, but I don't want to do anything. I'd like to have somebody else also follow up just to make sure we have everything that we need from them.
I can reach out to the police.
Okay, thank you, Tom.
So that's just, so we won't have we had their honor guard last year. We won't need that. We'll just need a couple of details to close down.
Correct. Yes.
So
I mean, if they want to provide one, it wouldn't be,
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead, Phil.
I know, that was a good point Tom just brought up. So there will not be a police honor guard? Did I hear that correctly?
Well, it sounds like if we've got your honor guard, do we need two? You just
It wouldn't hurt.
traditionally have one, right? Or do we want to?
We could do two, and the police like to participate in that.
Great. I'll ask
Okay.
them.
so-
Okay, I'm good.
Sounds good.
Okay. And then as far as the veterans on that, I'll email Dick and I will send him an updated what the veterans can expect that day, so he can get in contact with the veterans. There will not be a collation at all, so we'll move across that. No clergy again, and I took care of the wreaths, so those are all set. Tom, if you're gonna MC West Concord, do you want to also MC Concord Center?
Sure.
Okay, so there's no collation and no bagpiper this year? Is that okay? Because we don't have that time, okay. And then the trumpeter again, is that something that you can do again, Sue? Okay,
Yep.
thank you. And moving forward, so we will not need the soloist, or we potentially don't need a soloist, we'll do that. Okay. So we'll see if the Minutemen can do that again. And we don't need any equipment from the Red Barn. And you're all set for the radios or the speaker and the
Yep.
microphone, Tom?
Yep.
And we don't need the reviewing stand, no chairs. Stu, if I send you the script, do you mind sending that into the journal?
Problem.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, I don't know. Are any of the vets old enough? We want to just have a couple just in case, I don't know.
A what?
And do we want to have a few chairs just in case somewhere tucked away? I don't know. But no, I think we'll be all right. Okay.
Well, no, remember the chairs used to be on the reviewing stand?
Yeah.
So that's why we needed the chairs.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And we don't need any of the flags for the reviewing stand. And I actually have David here as our contact for the CIB, but Dave, Phil, you and I can do that.
Yep.
And I'll update the scripts and the map. And as far as the invitation, normally we would have the honored citizen and local and state officials. I think we'll just keep it really private again, as we did. Does everybody agree with that? Okay. And we will not be reading the roll of the honor readers. We don't need those honor readers this year. No Jeep. And I had David contacting the Concord Minutemen regarding their participation, but maybe I will take care of that, as I don't want to assign anybody who's not here for that. Is that okay?
Although, Jessica, I'm just thinking though, I mean, inviting the honored citizen just to, if they wanted to show up and be there and just give like a few seconds shout out at some point, just so they don't get completely stiffed on the COVID year,
Yeah.
Well,
so
I think
then-
that probably, I mean, it's Elise Stone this year, and I suspect, at town meeting, there will certainly be
Oh,
some,
I don't-
At least Woodward.
Woodward.
sorry, Elise Woodward, excuse me. Gosh, to the other Elise in town.
Maybe I can ask. Well, that's why I asked everybody.
Yeah,
So
it's just, since we're not inviting an audience, it doesn't seem like the right kind of tone for honoring the honored citizen,
Right.
Also, I think it really should be about the veterans,
Yeah.
pretty exclusively.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole
I think
point.
Elise Woodward will get her moment in the sun at town meeting.
Yeah.
Is my
Yeah.
hope.
Okay, so we'll go from there. Does everybody understand the checklist?
Yep.
Okay, great. And then the notification of the event, like I said, is just the press release, Sue, and you and I'll email you that updated one and then to the whole committee, and then we'll send that out this week. Does anybody have any other comments? Questions, concerns?
Only just impressed with you pulling this together, Jules, because
Yeah.
I mean, we just got to work together as a
Barrel
great
through it.
team. So I appreciate everybody's effort on this whole thing. So what I'll do is I will.
Should we plan to meet the week before, just to kind of run through the scripts and be sure we're tight on that?
Please.
Absolutely, that'd be great. So let's see. And should we try to plan 2 days, just in case David is not able to make it, or
Yeah.
to have a couple of days available?
Good idea. Yep.
So it sounds like that Thursday is a
That
better
works.
day.
Yep.
So let's try May 27th at 6 p.m. Does that make sense?
Good.
At 6 p.m. If he's not able to do that, we can also try the May 26th at 6:30. That seemed to be better. If possible. And if is everybody available that time?
Yep.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody, for your patience.
Okay.
And like I said, I will get the updated script to you soon, no later than tomorrow, and I'll update all of the scripts and mapping information for everybody else.
Good.
Okay? Thank
Good.
you so much, everyone.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
everybody.
Jessica.
All right, have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye.